Okay, why got you up? Facebook. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our episode 25 of Take 5 at 5. So today we have Alex in the house. Hi, Alex. First of all, let's give high five to all our audience. High five. Hi, virtual high five to all of you for tuning to our program today. And time flies. This is episode 25. Right. I can still remember, 25 days ago, we started this Take 5 at 5. And that was during MCO. Now it's CMCO. And we are still doing it and really happy with the results. We got a lot of feedback to say that people are enjoying our show. And today is actually 2nd of June, Tuesday. For those of you who are already working, so we like you to, as usual, take 5 from all your busy schedule and routine and all that, just to sit back, relax yourself with a cup of coffee if you have, just to listen to us, right? Perhaps today you might go back with something valuable to you, right? So now today we have an interesting topic, right? It is called impact-driven mindset. Yes, and with me is Alex today. He will be sharing with us, right? During this challenging time, we have heard businesses are doing their best to make ends meet, and there are some companies who are also moving forward to actually do charity and contribution to the community, right? So today is a very interesting day for us to really look at how can we be impactful to our society, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Sorry about the technical glitch a while just now. So Alex, without further ado, because we only have half an hour, so I want to actually make the full use of your time. I know you are really busy, so we want to really pick your brain and see, how we can learn from you in impact-driven mindset. Right. So Alex, over to you.
Thank you so much, Hilson, for inviting me to be at 5 at 5. I want to start off by saying congratulations and, more importantly, thank you for doing this, because 5 at 5 is a representation of our impact-driven mindset as well. And also for the people tuning in, I can see Julia, Mei Jun, high five to you, Catherine, Muihan, and CJ. When Jack first approached me to talk about this topic, I think it was because I launched a movement or a pledge to the community on my 5 years anniversary since my brain tumor surgery. So yes, I am a proud brain tumor survivor. And at the height, people ask me all the time, how do you know that you have a brain tumor? So fortunately or unfortunately, I was losing my eyesight and I was going blind, literally going blind every day. I was visually impaired, certified visually impaired. So I know how it feels to be a blind person. And I'm proud to say 5 years later, I survived the surgery. But now I'm a rare disorder warrior. So I have two conditions. One is called hypopituitarism and water diabetes. So I don't want to bore you with the final details of the technicality. Today, I want to take the opportunity to talk about impact-driven. How many of you, maybe I start with a question, right? See, Hilton, you agree with me or not? At the very start of MCO, majority of the people went into a crisis mode, was very worried. Us in the consulting training line, we are talking about, wait, we're losing our livelihood, physical distancing. So what's going to happen to the future? And then we hear so many rumors about companies laying off. Correct or not, Hilton, right? At the beginning.
Yes, you are right.
Right. But at the same time, I want to highlight a few community heroes. People like yourself, 5 at 5, people who suddenly rise up to the occasion, and instead of focusing on the crisis, they are focusing on doing good, on building the community first. It almost come instantaneously. Here, if you don't mind, I want to plug, a very good friend, uh, Jess Fong Xiaotong and Daniel Hui Ling, Yishi Smith. A few of us came together to do fundraising. And purely from our family and friends, we managed to collect a donation for a whooping 143,000 ringgit, okay, that we channel to buy PPE, personal protection equipment for the frontliners,
Wow.
right?
If I hear you correctly, it's 143,000
Yes,
cash, right?
143,000 ringgit
Cash.
cash. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you do that? Actually, no. Is something that is interesting to me because I feel like during this challenging time, most of the time people are saying, we should cut costs, we should be, charity begins at home. How
Mm.
come there are also people who are still willing to contribute and you are able to get 143,000? Something that I want to learn from your initiative, Alex.
So I want to bring back to I want to highlight how proud I am of Malaysian in general. You're absolutely right, Hilson. The logic that people always think that when times are bad, when times of crisis, you will take care of yourself. You will be very selfish. Actually, it's not true. When you have an impact-driven mindset, the compassionate side of you comes out, the empathetic side of you comes out. And if we can put a dollar and cent for our small group of less than 10 people, it's 143,000 worth of kindness that stood, that came forward. So what I wanted to say is that I noticed even when in crisis, if you have the right mindset, right heart, and the right compassion, people generally like to do good. People
Mhm.
generally understand that if I am in a position of privilege, we, even in a small effort possible, if we think we can contribute, we will. But the magic here to get 140 over 1,000 is not by one person. So if I ask Houston, do you have 140,000? You and I will say no. But if
Yep.
we can find 10, 100, 1,000, friends, and chip in support 10 ringgit, right? We can get there.
Okay. Yes. So that is really logical. It's just a change of mindset. Contribution not necessarily should be a big amount. If you can get many people to contribute a small amount, at the end, together everyone achieves more. As a team builder, we always believe in
Yeah,
the power of teamwork.
I remember that from one of your program, Wilson. So until now, it still makes sense. Yes.
Yes. All right. So we just want to give a shout out to people who are watching right now. Let me just look at the comments here. Uh, we would like to say hi to May June. Hi, May June. We like to say hi to Edward.
Hi.
Hi, Edward. Hi to Catherine. Hi to Muihan, CJ, Niven. Wow, so many. Okay, Fabian, Farahin, Zin, TK.
Everybody. Yes. Thank you
Yeah,
so
hi,
much
Bad
for tuning
Boy.
in.
And Joyce. Yes, Joyce is also here with us today. So thank you for tuning in. So before we actually continue, we like you to actually host a watch party in your Facebook, and perhaps you can also click the share button so that many more people will be able to watch this show today. And we are speaking about impact, right? Impact driven, impact. How do we have impact driven mindset, right? And I think this is something that we really need right now in a society, right? Now, Alex, perhaps you can actually share with us what is actually impact driven mindset. What is it actually about? What is it different with other mindset?
So, impact driven mindset requires us to think more broadly about how we do things. if I can give you, I want to intentionally be very provocative, right? Intentionally, so that we can have a good conversation about the difference between impact driven and non impact driven. We are very used to be bombarded with content that people tell you how to make your first million, how to be successful, how to be this, how to be successful entrepreneur, how to be that. Correct? Very common, right? Not person.
Yes.
And how to make your first million, how to be a millionaire, how to be successful. And you notice that the conversation is very personal and you centric. Hilson, you want to be successful or not? So the narrative is directed to Hilson. Whereas an impact driven mindset may be totally different from that. The conversation will be more impact based, more, if I can use a layman, a more community based. So rather than do you want to make a million, I will then have a mindset of do you want to help a million? Maybe reverse that or reduce that. Don't need a million. What would it mean to you in dollars and cents if you can help, let's say, 10 people? If you can help 10 family, right?
Mm.
If you, the things that you do today, leave a better environment for next generation. Can you put a value to that, Hilson?
It's very challenging to put a value, but I think it is something intangible. Yet I think it's very powerful.
Very, very powerful, right? So why I think impact driven mindset is so important is we are at home. We cannot do the work that we do to earn the salary, correct? So I want to inspire people with this impact driven mindset that if you use the time that you have rather than doing Netflix, rather than, spending time sleeping and then you don't know what to do and people say, wow, I'm so bored. Let's get inspired with people who are impact driven, where they are not focusing on making more money for themselves. They are focusing on doing good for the community. But doing good can be so many different versions, right? It can be, I have a very few good friends that I want to shout out, right? My good friends from the social enterprise world, Masala Wheels, Go Job. Instead of focusing on, their livelihood being cut off, they pivoted their business model to bringing food to the frontliners, and they crowdsource. They get people to contribute to their cause. Instead of building your next million, paying your next paycheck, worrying about sustaining your business, you are focusing on doing good, feeding the frontliners who are the unsung heroes who are risking their life, right?
Okay.
Risking their life so that we can feel safe.
Right. So Alex, I can see a comment coming in from Li Ping. Li Ping was talking about Master Chen Yuan, the founder of Tzu. No, she rather let 10,000 people do donate $1 rather than one person donate $10,000. Master mentioned that the impact of 10,000 people's good deed is much more greater than one.
And I totally agree. Yeah? If I can add Li Ping, right, to that, I prefer to do that because when we have that approach, we influence the life of the 10,000 people rather than influence the one life. Because the power of 10,000 people doing small things is more powerful than one person doing big things. And from a financial perspective, if that one person stop doing the good thing, right, you're putting all your eggs in one basket in that one person. And the moment he doesn't do anything, does it mean that the rest of the community dies? Right? But if you inspire 10,000 people to do small good, so you can have 500 people absent, and then another day, another 1,000 people absent, but there is always this wave of people doing good. And that is the power of what I call the impact-driven mindset. Collectively, we change our way.
I see. So we have a slide that is prepared. I think it's very good for us to summarize it as maybe Alex, you can help us to summarize actually what we have been talking so far. What is actually impact-driven mindset in a summary?
So Thank you, Hilson. I want to inspire the business owner and the people who are doing, you have a day job and you're very proud or you're very good with your day job. And I want to ask you this question, right? Has it occurred to you in any time that you don't feel fulfilled in your job and you do it anyway because you want to get your paycheck at the end of the month? My question for you is change the framing of your mind from the salary at the end and start asking inwardly the effort that you do. If you, let's say you're a banker, don't think of the salary, think about everything that you do is helping people to to buy their first house. If you are an accountant, the dollars and cents that you so-called tally at the end of the month, who are you impacting? If you don't do your job, who won't benefit from you? So it's really about putting meaning and fulfillment to what you do. So my recommendation, my tips to a lot of parents, right, that listening in. If you have young children that ask you, "Mommy, don't go to work, stay at home and play with me." My recommendation is please don't say, "Daddy need to go to work to make money，要去赚钱。"好，Houston，赚钱为了什么？因为要买礼物给你。So daddy,
Mm,
mommy want to go to work so that buy toys with you. Please
mm,
change the way you say things to your children. Don't say that anymore. You change it to say, daddy, mommy need to go to work because the mommy's work help people. Mommy contributing to the society. Because if you say that 你去做工为了赚钱买礼物, you go and make money to buy toys. What if your son say, "I don't want a toy. Can you don't go to work?" Right? So you want to
mm.
say, "I am going to work to do good to the community. There's an impact to what I'm doing as a father and a mommy." And daddy, mommy is very proud of that. And daddy, mommy have to sacrifice your playtime to do good to the community. And then you're teaching value to the children. You're teaching this impact-driven mindset to your kids.
Yes. So if I'm going to take home something today, Alex, from you, it is this lah. Because now suddenly I feel guilty saying that to my son. When I had to do this Facebook Live and they want to come into the room. I said I had to do Facebook Live because it's one way of me working so that I can bring food to the table and bring you toys. So thank you, Alex. So from now onwards, I have to reframe the whole thing.
Because you want them to reframe and focus on the value and the impact. Because what you're doing, Hilson, the daddy, you're helping so many people learn, right? The people tuning in could be 100, 1,000, 10,000, no, Hilson. And because of your hosting this 25 episode, you change people's life positively. And that's worth so much more than the dollars and cents that you get as a fee, right? So impact driven, unfortunately, may be intangible, you cannot see, but the value is so strong, it's so profound.
Yeah, so I like what you say just now. It is the intangible that drives the tangible. Something that you cannot see, yet it is so powerful that at the end give us, the 90% or the 99%. Now, Alex, before we actually continue, we would like to actually look at some of the comments here from TK Chan. TK is actually echoing what we have been saying so far. Mother Teresa once said, "If you cannot feed 100 people, then feed just one." Is that impact driven?
TK, if you ask me, more than impact driven. So later we can flash the slide, Hilton. But let me just explain first, right? Impact driven is a perspective that allows you to give based on what you have. I learned from a very young, when I was younger, much younger, this story that kind of changed my life. My mentor back then told me, "Alex, is it different that a millionaire donate 1,000 ringgit versus a low income earner donating 1,000 ringgit, let's say to the temple, to the surau? Is it the same?" You also think it's the same?
Not the same.
It's not the same, right? Why is it not the same?
Because the person that makes a million, personally, I think he can afford more, right? Versus
Correct.
the people who has maybe just 1,000 a month. He donated 1,000. Like means he's doing his level best, to come out with
Yeah.
the maximum amount of money.
Meaning, if you already had a hard time feeding your own family and yourself, and yet you have this compassionate heart to help another person first, that is what you call impact driven. Because then you remove yourself from this selfish need that I need to take care of myself first. Of course, I agree with you. I also believe that you cannot help others until you help yourself first. If you have to choose between saving yourself and saving others, I would say save yourself first. But after saving yourself, you feel you can still sustain despite
Mm.
helping another person. Then I would say do that as well.
Okay, so cool.
Right?
So we have another comment from Fabian saying that I was just listening to Ken Honda, the Japanese financial guru, which says even when you spend money, we say thank you, as the money is going back into the community and not just to buy things. Yeah, I think I saw this in My Valley stock. So do you have any comment on that? Is that impact driven mindset already, Alex?
I
What Ruben has
I
just
think
said.
if you talk about mindset, I think that's definitely impact mindset. Impact mindset, you don't put the dollars and cents, you look beyond the dollars and cents.
Hmm.
You put the money into good use. Because if I take, let's say, 1 million, and I say I'm gonna invest it so that it make me commission another few thousand, versus I'm gonna take this million and see how much I can push to impact as many people as possible. One is to generate more interest, make more money. One is to push the value of that 1 million to impact more lives, right? If you ask me, the interest is finite, is limited.
Hmm.
The impact driven is infinite. How that 1 million impacting 100 life, 1,000 life, how long that impact can prolong, we don't know one. And that's why impact driven is more meaningful, if you ask me.
Okay. So we have one more question from Edward. I think we will just hold on Edward for a while, but because I think it was just time for us to go to the next slide about what are the benefits we can get if we are really going into impact driven mindset. So Alex, take it away.
So, like what I've just said, right? It gives you a great sense of purpose and meaning, because I want everybody to be able to look beyond their dollars and cents, the money that you're getting at the end of the day, right? I want you all to see that whatever you do, whether you're in training, whether you are an accountant, whether you are a sportsman, everything that we do, I feel gives meaning and purpose. And we are the first person that gives meaning to that.
Hmm.
The second one, being a Buddhist, I believe in karma as well, but please use your own definition, right? What goes around comes around. I believe if you have this way of doing good, it will come back to you, right? People will notice that you are genuinely doing good for the society. And if I'm a businessman, if I want to do business, I want to do business with an honorable person, somebody whom I can trust, right? Without knowing that I'm going to give you business, I already see that you can do good. But I don't know if you agree with that, Houston.
Yes, totally. I agree with you in terms of. I mean, initially, I wouldn't agree with you, as a business owner,
Yeah,
having to actually ensure that the business sustainable right now, it is the most important. But actually, it is just a matter of us changing the mindset. Looking at things. How can we actually? Because at the end of the day, if you keep on doing the same thing all over again, you are insane, right? The definition of Albert
mm,
Einstein. Insanity is doing
mm,
the same thing all over again, but expecting a different
mm,
results. So if
mm,
you are already struggling before MCO, I think it's going to be the same. During MCO, you're going to struggle or extra struggle. But I think this is a time for us to pause, to really look at how we can do things differently.
yeah. I fully agree, because at the end of the day, we want to make best use of our time. At the end of the day, our future is negotiated at every point in our life. Today we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, so let's focus on the present. So what can you do at the present that will be more fulfilling? And then the last benefit, of course, people will say it's a bit fluffy, right? Is together we can change the world to be a better way, right? If I can just read the slides, when crisis happen, there are people who benefit from it, but there are people who will be significantly impacted in a negative way. If you have the impact-driven mindset, and if you're empathetic about the latter group, then you can think about the privilege that you have that you can give to the underprivileged. So let's say you still have some money. You don't have to worry, right? The reality, especially in Malaysia, you have people who are day earners, meaning the moment that it's locked down, they don't have money, They literally have to lower down their ego and go and beg for food. So as an impact-driven person, you want to be somebody who knows that you have some privileges. So you have capacity, you have network, you have money, you have sound mind, you have knowledge, right? Impact-driven requires you, or I want to encourage people to share. And it doesn't have to be money. Maybe that's exactly what I'm trying to tell people. To be impact-driven does not limit you to use money to impact the society, because the society in many times don't require your money. It may require your kindness, your compassion, your love, your listening ear. And this is what I'm hearing. So I want to make a clear distinction. I am against the term social distancing. I think the correct term is physical distancing. But I want to have a positive spin to it. I want to have a hashtag called social support physical distancing. You distance physically, yet you're supporting socially. And that for me is an impact-driven mindset.
Okay, so for all of you who are hearing this, I think it's good for you to actually put in a comment here, hashtag physical distancing, right? And hashtag social supporting, right? Social support. Yes. Can you please do that for us? For those of you who are tuning in, let's make this a hashtag of the day, for Take 5 at 5. Social support, hashtag social support, and hashtag physical distancing. Yes, thank you. Our Jack is actually doing that to actually type it in a text box. Thank you, Farahin. Zin is putting that. Okay, you can put hashtag social support and hashtag physical distancing. Yes, right. So keep on doing that while we are actually asking Alex again on some of the important things here.
I think that's one last slide, right?
Yeah, there is one more last slide. Yes. So now, how do we do that? Yes, that also leads us to something is important, right? How do we do that? Alex, how do we be more impact?
So I wanted to give people a very simple hack within this half an hour. I hope you take back this message, right? Think about what you have in abundance. It could be time, it could be effort, it could be energy, it could be your youth, it could be your positivity, it could be your happiness, it could be your smile. And then think about how can you use that to impact others, right? If you frame your mind limited to what you have in terms of money, you will protect your money and say you cannot contribute. But if you don't limit yourself to money and you have this abundance mindset that I have more to share, right? Just share that. Share that positivity, because if you can brighten up another person's day when he is down, when he is depressed, when he is sad, how you impact his life from that moment on, you never know, right? He could be suicidal until he meet you, Hilson. Wow, he is the most positive guy I met in the room. And if I didn't meet him, I jumped from the building already. And because he talked to me, he listened to me, you save one life. And impact-driven can be something as easy to execute as a smile, a listening ear, Yeah.
Right. So I think that is awesome, Alex. If you guys are listening today, this is something that you can go back with and do it immediately. You might save lives by just listening to someone, by smiling at a stranger, or maybe a tap on somebody's shoulder and say good job. Now that's what I usually do in my team building program as well. Every time we finish a task, whether you win
Yeah.
or you lose, just tap the shoulder of the person next to you and say good job. That gives that sense of satisfaction, right? Now,
Right.
one last question, Alex. I think we are almost time, but I think we can just, because it's going to be very interesting. What actually inspired you to come up with this mindset?
I think I want to thank all my teachers, my mentor, my guardian angels, 我的贵人, all the people who have impacted my life. I noticed that where I am today, I consider myself successful, but not in the sense of money. I have a good family. I'm happy. I'm doing the work that I love. Continue to give back. And what inspired me are the mentors and the teachers that I've had, that they impacted my life one way or the other. And if I can use this term that is very popular, paying it forward. In fact, not more than one mentor who told me this, that Alex, if you want to repay me, right, you just pay it forward to the next person. Because when you do that, you keep that paying forward, that moving momentum to the next person. And that is good enough, you see. And you give genuinely without expecting something back in return. And that is what inspired me.
Thank you, Alex. I think we have some more time to actually look at questions here. Uh, I think I promised Edward that we're going to go back to his question. So Edward is saying, how about those who wish to contribute differently? Not besides just financial. What would be your suggestion?
My simple, very practical hack, right? Very practical hack is go look for a cause that you believe in. Is, is it animal? Is it environment? Is it recycling? Is it sewing PPE? Is it making things? Look for something closest to what you may like. You may not know you like it, but the moment you start searching, the power of internet is quite mind-boggling. If you search today, sewing PPE for frontliners, I guarantee you can find. If you search on how can I help community in KL in Selangor, I'm sure you can find something. So the difference is the effort of wanting to look for something that you can be in support of. So for me, I'm very proud to say Invigorate International, at the very beginning of MCO, we created this Heroes at Home series, which is an online platform that allow people who are day earners to use online to share their skills and get paid for it, right? I want to invite everybody to support the platform as well because it goes directly to them in helping them. So our the idea can come from anywhere. So no limitation, just ask and I don't know. Put it out there. I would put it out there, ask around.
All right. So interesting. I think this topic can go really long, and I really like the comments as well as the interactions that we're happening here. However, we still want to keep to the time. What would be your final words for the show today, Alex?
So my final word is I'm on the journey. I'm on this journey where I want to inspire. I use the word inspire, right? That all of us become more impact driven on a day to day. Whenever we do something, not only that we think about how does certain things benefit us, we also think about what is the cost, what is the sacrifice that at the expense of what we want. For example, I buy a new uh, bag or a new shoe that I don't really need but I want, right? And in the production of that shoe, okay, actually you have a lot of plastic, right? You create a lot of commercial need that you don't need, and the expense of it is in the future you create more rubbish. So my parting words is whatever that we do, understand that there's a cause and effect. there's a trade-off. We get something, but something has to give something for you to get something, right? So
Mm.
if you are impact driven, think more about what you can give to the society rather than what you need from the society to fulfill your life. I promise you, you have that kind of mindset. In the long run, you will benefit.
All right. So thank you very much, Alex. I really benefited a lot from your show today and what you have shared with us today. So for those of you who are tuning in, I also hope that you take back something today. Start to look at things very differently. It is not about profitability all the time. Yet we can also be impactful to society, to the people, to you, right? Not only financially, but a small gestures, a smile, things that you love to do that you find it helpful to the society. So just spend some time doing that. So thank you very much, Alex. Really happy for you to be at the show. For those of you who want to find out more about Alex, the email address is in the screen right now, alex@invigorateinternational.com. All right. So thank you very
Yeah.
much. Stay tuned tomorrow. We have another episode tomorrow with Fabian, the magic of the language of appreciation. Yes, and Luhan will be the host tomorrow. It is very aligned to what we have shared today as well. So please tune
Mm-hmm.
in tomorrow at 5 o'clock sharp. Right. So
Right.
one important thing before we go, let's do a virtual
Yeah.
high five to all our
High five.
audience today. High five. Yes. See you tomorrow at 5.
Thank you, Hilson, Jack. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye bye.